Hello, my friends. Happy Saturday. It's Everyday Eric. I missed you. Hopefully, you guys missed me too. At least some of you. And I saw Indiana Jones and the Denial of Disney. Did I say that right? Denial of Disney, the Butt Dial of Destiny, the Search for Depends. So many great other titles that could have been used that people I follow on the YouTube are using. Give me your favorite alternate title in the comments section there. So we're going to talk about this movie. But basically, Kathleen Kennedy, her revenge upon George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, her revenge is now complete. There's no one else to ruin. She gives us, like she gave us Jake Skywalker, she gives us Jake Jones in this movie. Old, crotchety, alcoholic, deadbeat dad, divorced, loser. Yep, we get that in this movie. And then he's basically dragged out of his house. This movie here, I'm a big fan of Up. All right? And basically, Indiana Jones 5 should really be Indiana Jones 6. So this could be the fifth Indiana Jones movie, Up. You should check it out. You know, you should take your Indy Blu-rays. I know I have Blu-rays. I got to upgrade to 4Ks. Don't worry about the Crystal Skull. I guess that is 4. Oh, God. I don't like that movie. And now you could put this movie, and then, I was going to say, when I buy the Dial of Destiny, I'm not sure that's going to happen. Well, work with me here for the purpose of my point. You could put the Dial of Destiny here, and then you have all 6 Indiana Jones movies. Because just like in Up, you know, this insufferable young mongrel shows up at Mr. Fredrickson's house, Jake Jones's house, and drags him out and forces him on this adventure in the skies. Basically the same thing. There's really nothing different. It just follows the same thing as Up. So I'm going to need your guys' help, Yin's guys' help in the comments section. I'm out of practice, guys, because I don't know if I can talk about this movie very long. I'm going to try, and of course, what I do that's a little bit different than everybody else, I don't really need your money to read your comments. You know, that's why what we got going on here is so special. I will read your comments, and we will talk about the Dial of Destiny together, because this is your show. This is your place to vent. So if you don't want any spoilers, I don't know if I'd be here right now, but there's nothing to spoil. There's nothing to spoil. Spoilers are like spoiling something good. If I told you, like you know, if it's your birthday coming up, and I had a birthday once where like the neighbor kid gave me like a box of socks or something. That really did happen. And you get a present, you're like, oh, that's a present. I wasn't expecting a present, but thank you. And now I'm getting excited, and I open it up, and like there were like socks or something. There's something totally lame. And I'm like, okay. You know, I'd rather you not have got my excitement up to give me the box of socks. So if I told you, hey, you know, you're going to get a box of socks for your birthday, that's not a spoiler because socks suck. So there's nothing to spoil here. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. All right, I covered KK. She got her revenge. Let's get into this. We covered, yeah, it looks like Up. And let's talk about James Mangold, the director. You guys liked Logan, right? And they kind of made Wolverine like a crotchety old guy, but his mutant powers were like fading. That was the excuse they had in that one. But I never thought like Logan ever lost his edge or his rage or his testosterone. Or I thought that Hugh Jackman could keep the male aggression and toxic masculinity going. So I thought, James Mangold did a good job in that movie, but in this movie, I just never felt this was my Indy, And we're going to get into that again in more detail here. All right, so let's stop yapping, Eric, and let's get into this film. I see Roblox, the feminist agenda. I like that. The insufferable feminist, right? Yeah, I watched Friday Night Tights. Had to see what they were going to say about this thing. All right, so, okay, guys. The beginning of the movie, I thought was like, okay. Like, I liked it. We get our young Indiana Jones for about 20 minutes, right? And he's going after the Spear of Destiny, not the Dial of Destiny. Isn't it called the Spear of Destiny? The spear that killed Jesus or helped facilitate Jesus' death. I don't know if that's really the right way to say it. Well, anyway, the spear that poked Jesus on the cross. So, we're back in Germany, and it's what, the late 30s, the war is ending, and I liked the setup, but I will say it's a little dark, right? It was too dark for me. You really couldn't see what was going on. Everything was at night. The de-aged Indiana Jones face, it did not bother me. I thought it looked pretty good. I decided I'm not going to stare at his face looking for something wonky, some uncanny valley in his mouth. I said, okay, there it is. I like it. I'm going to watch the whole picture on the IMAX and not focus. But I will say Harrison Ford's voice stuck out as not being the youthful voice. So you have the youthful face and stunt guy, but the voice was apparent that this is a much older Harrison Ford. But anyway, the beginning, I liked it. I will say, I don't know if I'm a fan of Toby Jones, his little sidekick. The guy's a good actor. He's been in Civil War and things, and he's really good. But I don't know. Like it would have been, I would have preferred Indy like trying to save a chick, But I guess we can't have that nowadays. That maybe his, there was like a side chick that gets captured or a little chemistry. This movie has no like male-female chemistry. There's really no romance in it. And I think a part of like James Bond or a good Indiana Jones movie, you gotta have like romance. In an age where all we're talking about is our gender identity, and can we have romance back? Can we? Let's have a little romance back. A little less talk and a lot more action. That's what I want. So maybe I was thinking a female here, and Indy. Let Indy save the girl. All right, that's what we're here to see. But no. Anyway, it was too dark. Toby Jones kind of boring, and there you go. And then after that, okay scene, we get and that scene gives us the Dial of Destiny background. That there's this Archimedes dial, blah blah blah. We'll talk about that as well. Then we go right to the 60s. Is it the 60s? And we get our crotchety Jake Jones, divorced Mr. Fredrickson, Indiana Jones person. And we go to New York. And I don't know. New York, it looked okay. I see this movie cost, what, $300 million? Dune only cost half that to make. Okay. But I see them spending money, but I don't know if they really had to. And and it looks good at times, but at other times, a lot of these visual effects don't look good. Mostly in the car chase, the tuk-tuk chase, the plane chase. Whenever there's a close-up on someone's face, you could see the green screen and that they're blowing a wind machine on their hair. But, when they're farther away and maybe using stuntmen, Indiana Jones chases have to be practical for them to work. So I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, that's another bitch I have about this movie. Anyway, we're in New York City. The bad guys, Mads Mikkelsen, he comes, he shoots a lot of people, and they steal half the Dial of Destiny. We meet Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Man, I'm gonna get ahead of myself, aren't I? Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Oh, we might as well talk about her. I think they perfectly casted what they were looking for. I really do think that, yes, this is exactly the type of person they were looking for. The problem is, this isn't the person that Indiana Jones fans are looking for. All right? All right, let's get right to it. All of the good Indiana Jones movies have Indy, like, kind of getting the babe. All right? In the first movie, it's Marion Ravenwood, right? There's good chemistry and tension there, and at the end, they get together, right? Second movie, Willie Scott. A very different type of lady. I liked the choice. She's out of her element. Marion was more in her element in a way. Willie Scott out of her element, on the verge of being annoying. But still, she had enough of a spark that she stole the director, Steven Spielberg, and married him. But it worked, and at the end, Indy gets the babe. In the third movie, We get Elsa Schneider. My favorite, actually. Maybe I just have a thing for blondes. I don't know. I really liked Elsa, and I cried at the end when Elsa wouldn't listen to Indy and reached for the Grail. And yeah, I did cry. That's the only time I cried in an Indiana Jones movie. Yeah, that time. Elsa, I loved Elsa. And the weird thing there is Elsa not only got it on with Indy, but Sean Connery, his dad, and that's a little awkward, I guess. Yeah, that was a little different. But Elsa is my favorite, maybe because she's a super slut. Yeah, could be. Anyway, okay, so those are the best 3 Indiana Jones movies, and then we get the Crystal Skull movie, which that's my least favorite Indiana Jones movie, and we could talk about that. It just looks so fake most of the time. That's why I don't like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It just looks fake, and the ending is just like a wet fart. That's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But he has, like, yeah, Marion comes back, but there's so, like, there's nothing there. There's no chemistry with any female. And I wasn't feeling anything. Indiana Jones needs to be dangerous. He needs to be, he's a rogue. He's got an edge to him. That's when he's at his best. Anyway, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, no romance with a chick. And then this movie, no romance with the ladies. They're the 2 worst Indiana Jones films. Maybe they should have went the direction of casting a more likable lady in the film and have Indiana Jones, start to flirt with maybe an inappropriate relationship with his goddaughter. I don't know, something there, like on the edge of it, play with it. I mean, when you think of it, because Marion Ravenwood was very, very young. I believe she was underage, it's implied or even stated, when Indy had a sexual relationship with her. So that's kind of what Indy was. He is like a scoundrel. That's what Han Solo is. But with a heart of gold. He's a scoundrel with a heart of gold, right? Boy, did I get off my script. All right. That's what's wrong with this movie and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I should probably stop here. I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit because you guys are rocking me. All right, so I liked the black female actress. She worked for the CIA. I kind of liked her. Unfortunately, Dr. Voller, Mads Mikkelsen, had her killed. Yeah, I'm going to jump again. So Mads Mikkelsen, let's talk about his character. He plays like the Nazi, typical Nazi. I'm a big Mads Mikkelsen fan. You got to watch the Hannibal show. It's on Netflix, I think. How you doing, Snakey? He's great. I love him. I just think he's okay, but he's a little bland here. And also, going back to the best Indiana Jones movies, all of the villains have a horrific death, I think, in the first 3 Indiana Jones movies. It's like a thing in Indiana Jones movies. Your villain has to be a little out there, and he has to have like a terrible death. Face melting, face aging and exploding, whatever it is. Crystal Skull, I will say, Spalko. Right, she had some kind of weird thing. I don't think she was really like a villain, though, ever. I don't know. But in this movie, Mads Mikkelsen, Dr. Voller, just is in the plane and the plane crashes. And then we see him sort of like bloodied up, like out of the plane on a rock. It kind of, I thought, I didn't stay for a post-credit scene. I don't know if there's a post-credit scene, but I was thinking if there was one, and I didn't want to stay because the movie's already 3 hours long and it was beyond midnight. I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool maybe like a post-credit scene, Dr. Voller is crawling and grabs the dial. I don't know. Give me something. But he didn't have a horrific death, and I think he needed to be a little bit more eccentric and get a proper Indiana Jones villain death. Let's talk about the score. Listen, the music is the theme is great, so all they need to do is, throw that theme back up there. And yes, I'm a sucker for the theme, and I'm like, yeah, the music's good at the end. The credits are rolling, the music's playing, so listen, I mean, John Williams, what can we say? I thought the score was fine. All right, so yeah, there's a horse chase in New York. Did we need like a horse chase in the streets of New York City during the moon landing parade? It's, it's on the verge of looking fakey, right? So, I don't know. Maybe something in between, something more real, more tangible, maybe in the streets of New York and alleys and on catwalks would be more effective, something practical rather than this big expensive scene that we got where he's on a horse. I don't know. There is a point where we learn the fate of Mutt Williams, right? And this was a moment I was like, oh, Harrison, he is coming to play. He's acting. There's that little moment where we get exposition where Harrison says that Shia LaBeouf, Mutt Williams went off to the war just to piss off his dad, and he died in the war, and that's what broke up the marriage with him and Marion. And I do have a note in here that I liked how Harrison was sort of explaining that, and okay, I guess. I don't know why, but why does our hero have to have such a depressing life? Why can't he should have sold all his antiquities to a museum, and he should live in some big mansion? Well, Marion maybe divorced him and took the mansion. That's probably what happened. All right, I'm tempted to stop here a little bit. Antonio Banderas, I didn't know it was him. A lot of this movie, I'm like, and that's where Antonio Banderas, like, it took me like 5 minutes to figure out, holy shit, that's Antonio Banderas. That's the Desperado. Like, it felt like yesterday I'm watching Desperado in the theater, and talk about that movie. That's a sexy movie at times with him and her, and then I'm like, who's this old guy? Who's this old fat guy? Oh my God, it's Antonio Banderas? It's like, what is happening to all my favorite actors? Okay. They're getting older, and guess what, Eric? I'm getting older too. Yes. Alrighty. Let's see here. I see some of you here. I don't know. We could talk about this. Let's take a break and get to some of you. I don't want you hanging on here. Roadblock. Yes, Indiana Jones and the Feminist Agenda. That is true, definitely. As From Heel versus Babyface, who I do enjoy, destroyed this movie. It's better than the Crystal Skull, in my opinion, but we'll see. And you talk, Roadblock, you're here. The Crystal Skull was trash, but better than the Dial of Doo-Doo. Okay, you like Dial better? Crystal Skull better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's a toss-up for me. They're good. They're kind of okay for some reasons, and they're bad for others. Yeah. I don't know. There's only 3 Indiana Jones movies in my book. Need a better login name. Did Harrison Ford phone it in, or did he actually care about this film? Yes, I think he actually cared, because there were moments where he's acting, and yeah, I think he did care. It's not his fault. It's this movie needed some tweaks. I think there is like a decent movie here, but it needed to be rewritten by like a guy. A guy that likes Indiana Jones. I think, some long-time Indiana Jones fan, like Jon Favreau, maybe John could have rewrote this movie and just give it that, that Iron Man edge or something like the first Iron Man had. This needs a little injection of, this is a low T movie, like my thumbnail says. We need an injection of some testosterone in this film. I didn't hate myself for seeing it. Like, it's not The Last Jedi, right? It's not The Rise of Skywalker. I think this movie is better than The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. I'll say that. So it's not the worst Lucasfilm movie ever made. Let's see here. Girthy Guitarist, how you doing? I refuse to see it, or at least pay for it. Well, just buy a ticket for Mission Impossible next week, and then sneak into the theater for Dial of Destiny, because if it's still in the theater, there'll be nobody in it, so you're not going to be taking someone's seat. That's what I think. Roadblock, I'm never going to watch this movie. You got to watch this movie. Roadblock, you have to see it. Go buy a ticket to another movie and, well, watch the first. I can't recommend it. I don't want to be on the hook for recommending it. Oh, again. Oh yeah. I was confused how you knew about it, but then you said you didn't watch it. You didn't want to see that. You never want to see this movie again, and I agree. I never need to watch this movie again. Now, see if there was like an attractive lady in the film or something. I might watch it again, right? But yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I mean, she is exactly what they wanted her to be. I get it, but it's just wrong for Indiana Jones. I mean, she delivered what they cast her to deliver, but I don't know. We have her. We have Budget, Dime Store, Short Run. He's fine. I don't know. We didn't need this little kid running around. Why? And so the Phoebe Waller-Bridge character, Helena Shaw. Thank God she doesn't take Indy's hat at the end and put it on. We all were worried about that. I know we were all worried about that. So that does not happen. But they have this little side story with her. They want to make her like a scoundrel that she like sells artifacts in like Morocco or something to like people. I don't know. At this artifact sale. But she has like a fiance, an ex-fiance. She ran away from a marriage or something, and the guy is like a son of the gangster that runs Morocco. So there's this whole like subplot for about 5 minutes, and it just disappears. But I thought like if you actually had a different lady cast as Shaw, and then make her sexier, more roguish, you could have really like juiced that up, and then you could have really like the main people that could have chased Indy and her through the movie would have been like the ex-fiance or the fiance's thugs, and like ride that out more, but make it more believable. Like with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the fact that this guy is like lusting after her and needs her back or something, it doesn't quite work, but there could have been something there. It could have been something there. Sexier lady with that situation. Also some, flirtation with Harrison. I know he's like 80, whatever, but still, like, come on, something more, something juicier. This is a very safe, sterile movie. It's kind of bland and vanilla at the end of it. And it goes back to like, there's nothing I need to see here again. All right. Mutt Williams died. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Antonio Barrett. The underwater scene. I was like, okay, we're underwater. It felt a little James Bondy. Not much happened, right? And then they have to find like now what did they find down there? Did they find the second half of the dial? This movie's so good, I forget actually what they're doing. They're running around different places. They have one part of the dial. They have to find the second part of the dial to put the two dials together. They think it's going to be a time machine, but it's not really a time machine. We can get to that at the end. Was the second part of the dial under the ocean? I can't remember. The Romans had part of the dial and their ship sank. And so Indy, they got to get all the aqua lungs and they got to go down to find the second part of the dial. It looked cool. I mean, again, it felt James Bondy. And then when Indy, there's no snakes in this film. So they went to eels. And is that what they were trying to do? That like all these eels come out and wrap around Indy and they're kind of like snakes, but they're underwater snakes. And that's why is he freaking out? Is that what, did they mean to do that? Or no, it's just eels and I'm putting it together that he doesn't like snakes. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of interesting. They get their second piece of the dial. There's more shenanigans. And basically the bad guys, the bad guys get the dial back. I don't remember how. Oh, they go to Archimedes' tomb. Yes. They go to Archimedes' tomb and yeah, it's like a tomb thing. There's like traps. Indy has to figure out some stuff. I just feel like they're going. It's almost like AI wrote this script. It's just going through the beats. And they get to the tomb and they realize Archimedes is wearing a watch. And on the tomb, there's like a relief sculpture of like an airplane. It's like a bird, but it's got propellers. And they're like, oh, look at that. Oh, and there they get the second half of the dial. That's right, from his tomb. And next thing you know, they're on airplanes. And the bad guy, Voller, he's, sort of put his two pieces together. And there's a fissure in the sky. And they got to head to the fissure. It's just all, coincidence or something? And because the dial directs you to the fissure. And they fly through. and we'll get to the final part of this film. I thought, yeah, Voller was cool as being the head of Operation Paperclip, the moon landing. So he works for the United States and has betrayed the United States, and he wants the dial to go back in time to be a better Hitler. He's going to go and kill Hitler and take over and not make the mistakes Hitler made, and be the next Fuhrer. Kind of interesting. I did kind of like that. But we're going to find out that Voller is very wrong about the dial. So when they use the dial, when they go through the fissure, they don't go back to like 1939 or even earlier, I believe. They don't go there, Germany. No, they end up kind of where they are, around Italy, Syracuse, 2,000 years ago, during this Roman battle where Archimedes' town is being attacked. And so what Archimedes did way back then is he built the dial, and I guess left the dial so people in the future could find the dial and use the dial to only return to his time during the battle to bring help. So the dial isn't a time machine. It's very specific to what it can do. It can point you to like a fissure in the sky, like a time portal that appears organically, and people from the past can bring their technology back to him, and maybe he can win this battle. That's his plan, and that's exactly kind of what happens. This B-52, it's not a B-52, but it's something like that, with Voller and Indiana Jones aboard. They fly through the fissure, and I kind of liked this. This was very unexpected to see like the ocean and these Roman battleships and trebuchets and catapults laying siege to this fortress city. Like, I'm like, this is pretty out there. I'm like, all right, I'm in. I did like this. It's pretty crazy. And so, but you have to ask yourself, did Indiana Jones need to do anything in this film? Because what did he really do? The bad guys, they get the dial. They're wrong about the dial. They're never going to go back to Nazi Germany. They're just going to end up here. I guess maybe they could have went back in time and maybe messed with things. Maybe used their B-52 to like rule the world back then and change the course of history. Okay. But eventually the plane crashes and we're on the beach. And Voller just dies in the plane crash. Indy and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, they jump to safety. They meet Archimedes, how convenient, on the beach. And the big controversy is Indiana Jones. He got shot at some point. At first, it looked bad, and then he just won't die. Then I guess we're led to believe, oh, I'm going to die. So leave me here. Phoebe, leave me on this beach. Archimedes is here. We're talking. We can talk the same language. I would like to stay and watch history. And I think he's saying I like to stay as I'm dying and just enjoy this, and I'll be fine, or whatever. Leave me alone. I'm good. And I think, and she's like, no, this is not your time, and I don't know. And so she punches him, screen goes black, and the Indiana Jones wakes up back in his apartment, and Marion is there, and Sala is there, and we're all happy, and la la la, the end, and cue the John Williams music. So at the time, I thought, leave Indiana Jones in the past. That would be kind of cool. I was rooting for his decision. Did you guys care at that point? Let me know what you thought. I was hoping he would stay in the past. I don't know. See, I did care a little bit about this film, where I was like, yeah, just leave him there. I think he's earned it. If you're gonna make him like someone who's just, has turned his back on society and he's just an old drunk loser, then just let him stay in the past and hang out with Archimedes. But nope, the movie brought him back, and there you go. Yep, I don't know. So you leave. The music plays, and I'm like, okay, I didn't hate myself for seeing this movie. Do I ever need to see it again? No. Did it felt like he was Indiana Jones? No. Did I like Phoebe Waller-Bridge? No. What was going on for like the middle 2 hours of this movie? I don't really know. It looks nice. It's edited well. I thought the camera work was pretty spiffy. The art direction was strong. Um, yeah, you know, but I was never invested in any of the action. None of the action. So we had the eels. He used his whip once. You know, some more whip work would have been nice. Yeah. I don't know. Let me get back to your comments here. Let's see here. Fake, annoying, short round sucked. Yeah, I don't get the point of him. He gets, what, caught by the bad guys at one point. So it's like a MacGuffin, you know, try to save him at one point. But he does get away. I thought he was a little ruthless. Didn't he, like, handcuff himself and put the handcuffs to that big guy? He took care of the big guy and handcuffed him underwater to that grate. That was a little ruthless for that kid. Yeah, he'll get you. But him flying the plane, did that make any sense at the end? He was flying his own little plane. Did they need that? Oh, that's the plane so they could get away. Oh, conveniently they had a second plane so the first plane could crash and he land. You know how hard it is to land a plane on that rocky terrain? How the hell did he do that? This kid's an expert pilot. Yeah, so that was just a convenience for the movie's sake, so they can fly out and through the fissure again. Is it fissure? Crack in the sky and go home conveniently. Okay. Roadblock. I had your comment. What happened? They should have brought back Short Round as a grown man. Yeah, he won an Academy Award, right? He would have been cool. He could have pulled up with the tuk-tuk and oh, you know what? See, if they casted a more attractive lady, and Indy could have like been fooling around with the lady. Maybe he's still technically married to Marion, and you know, Short Round could have said, "You cheat, Dr. Jones." Could have said that. That would have been good. The good thing about this movie is it gets you in the mood to like buy maybe. I was gonna say, does it get you in the mood to buy toys? I don't think so. I don't think the kids are gonna be loving this movie. It's not really for kids. Who's this movie for? Like really old people, right? Like me. This movie makes me want to watch the good movies. Yeah, it does. So I might just do that. Where's my, I got Blu-rays. I got to get 4Ks. Blu-rays aren't going to cut it. I haven't, this is like an artifact. It's got dust on it. I haven't watched it. Oh, look at this. Oh, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Look, when you see this right away, you're like, look at this movie. This is a good movie. Look at that. Look at Indy. Look at him. That's Indy, man. Look, he looks dangerous. You know, you don't want to mess with that guy. Temple of Doom. Oh, look how good Willie Scott looks there. Willie Scott looks great. Yeah, Willie. Why I shouldn't. Can I get rid of this? What am I doing here? Let's just go back to this. Oh, look at this nice photo. Can you guys see? It's like Willie Scott. Look. Yeah. Our directors. That's a nice photo right there. That's nice. Look at that. None of those guys were involved with this movie. There's Elsa. Look at that. Oh, yeah, there's my girl, Elsa. All right, you know, they started to deconstruct Indy a little bit in The Last Crusade, you know, because we named the dog in Indiana, right, Junior? They started to, like, you know, put Indy down a little bit with Sean Connery, but it's still a good movie. I like the movie. And then, then you get to this, and it's just like, what is this? Like, there's nothing, look, he's like smiling. There's nothing dangerous here. Nothing dangerous here. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You can tell by just the artwork. It's like, no, it's just, I don't know. Oh, can't wait. Dial of Dementia. All right, everybody. I want to read your comments. Again, if you got comments, fire away. Let's talk about this. I saw your short post theater YouTube video. Seems like you soured slightly on it in the meantime. Yes. Need better login name. Yes, I did. What I said is still true. It's a movie. Indiana Jones is in it. It doesn't really feel like Indiana Jones. Again, I don't hate myself for seeing it. It's not The Last Jedi, but I never need to see it again. You know, I'm like, okay. And the Roman stuff at the end, the Roman battle, I was like, sure, why not? So, but I never need to see it again. That's what I say about most movies nowadays. I never need to see them again. And I'm a movie fan. I actually have like DVDs and Blu-rays, and my food closet does not have food in it. It just has DVDs and Blu-rays that I refuse to sell or upgrade. And I love rewatching movies, good movies that have like an edge to it, something to bring me back, a good fight, an attractive lady, something. But everything from Lucasfilm, I don't need to see ever again. There is one that I do enjoy watching. I enjoy watching Rogue One. I like to go back to the Vader scene. That ending is kind of cool. I like the space battle at the end. I thought that was kind of cool. Them sneaking into the big radar tower. I like that. I thought that was kind of cool. So Rogue One definitely has things about it that I revisit. Other than that, I do not go back to any Lucasfilm movie that they've made in the last, 8 years or so? Well, including Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it's probably like 10 or 15 years. And that just sucks. I love rewatching, I don't know, what do I got laying around? I watched, what the hell is that? The Rock, right? With Sean Connery. I rewatched that. I mean, any Nick Cage movie you can rewatch for Nick Cage. It's so many movies you can rewatch. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, just any time, any place, rewatch Raiders of the Lost Ark. Hell, we even rewatch Up because it's entertaining. But so it just sucks. I don't know. Let's see here. Roblox says Phoebe Waller-Bridge had zero sex appeal. Now I have to say, they got a little racy. Roblox. Remember when her sleeves ripped off and she started to show some shoulder? Come on now, she's starting to get a little sexy there. I feel bad. I don't know anything about her, but it's just the movie needs a little course correction. It needed some attention. I think Harrison Ford could have pulled this movie off. You know, I just think like it's just anything produced by Kathleen Kennedy's or Hollywood today in general is just a bad idea right now. It's just not entertaining. And you can see it at the box office. It's just not Disney, but Warner Brothers and The Flash, and it just falls flat. You know, I liked that for the Keaton stuff. I got suckered in because of Keaton, but these movies, I might rewatch that to see the Keaton action again. So, but all these movies today, it's just no reason to go back and rewatch them. All right, again, no one wants to hear me talk anymore. Let's see here. Just popping in to say hi. Prophet, I'm going to see it today at noon. Didn't want spoilers. Prophet, okay. Good luck, Prophet. Go check it out. Enjoy. Go pee before the film because it's super long. With the trailers, you're over 3 hours. So definitely want to pee. Or just bring a bottle and sit in the back corner and pee in the bottle. No one will know. I won't tell. Take care. I'll check the review later. Thank you, sir. Prophet's usually pretty positive, though. So, you know, you have to leave me a comment, Prophet. We'll talk about it in the comments. Roblox. They have the first 3 movies on 4K as Steelbook collectibles. They're going to charge a lot for that, aren't they? Okay, I don't need it right now because I am a member. I am a subscriber of Disney Plus. I know. I do have it because it has those movies looking good. It's got a lot of old content. You can even watch Logan on Disney Plus. And I did. I went back to watch Logan because I wanted to see him like claw people through the head. Like when he rages, I mean, it's visceral. It's violent. He's dangerous again, you know? And I thought his mission had purpose. It was really set up well by James Mangold in that movie. This movie lacks all of that. Script. It need rewritten by a bunch of dudes. Yeah. Roadblock. You can buy them separate without getting the fourth one. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good idea. Well, thank God. Yeah, because we don't need the fourth one. I don't. Sorry. I didn't hear your Flash review. I did a little Flash review. And I don't want to be hypocritical. So some people really, 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 really hate the movie. I thought it was okay. It was better than I thought. I enjoyed my time in the cinema. I never really need to watch the first half again. I enjoyed the second half with Keaton. I thought it was awesome to see Keaton in that Batman doing those type of things. There are many flaws. I get it. I guess I'll spoil this. I mean, Batman basically dies on the battlefield fighting Kryptonians, right? And you're like, well, why would Batman do this? Batman is smarter than this. Why would he? I get all that. You're absolutely right. Batman's more calculated. I don't know if he would die the way he did. I just go with it. I enjoyed the Supergirl a lot. I thought she had presence. When she actually hit people, for some reason, it looked more convincing with her than any female Marvel character for the past 5 years. Even Black Widow in the Black Widow movie. I thought this Supergirl at least was convincing. I liked her attitude. She's like a younger Michelle Rodriguez. I thought the outfit looked good. There was a strength and sexiness about her. So there are like good things in this Flash movie. There's a lot of things that you're like, what is going on in the Flash movie? And Ezra Miller, again, he did what they wanted him to do in the film. So there are a lot of flaws. We can get into details about that. But I was entertained. So I left that film going, I was entertained. Again, I don't hate myself for seeing it. And I might want to rewatch those Keaton scenes again just to watch Keaton do stuff that we never got to see him do in the other movies because he couldn't turn his head. I guess he can't turn his head in this movie really either, but there was some cool shit. I mean, you get to see the bat plane whoop ass, the Batwing. I liked parts of it. I didn't despise it like most other people. But it's like a guilty pleasure thing. Let's put it that way. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of goofy shit in that Flash movie. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Let's see here. Super Nerd Creed. Indiana Jones, rest in peace. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's the thing. They could have given us, I think, a good Indiana Jones film. I think Harrison was up for it, but this is just in the wrong hands. That's kind of in the back of my mind that's a disappointment. Because the effects are good enough. He's good enough. They can do the de-aged Indy. They had options there. There are parts I did like. It just needed ramped up and more, more adrenaline, more testosterone. Even for an 80-year-old guy, they have pills for that. You can anyway. Supergirl wasn't a girl boss either. Yeah. She wasn't a girl boss. Phoebe Waller-Bridge was a girl boss. No, Supergirl was... I liked her. Yeah. Listen, I'm a big Henry Cavill fan. So, in the back of my mind, I'm pretty PO'd about what they did to Henry. I love Henry Cavill. He should be in a lot more movies. He's awesome. He should be the next James Bond. I mean, I love him. I think he's great. So I was really mad how they just threw him out of the DCEU. Is that it? But yeah, Supergirl was good. I thought she was good. She dies too, so yeah. Roadblock. Yes, Logan was a popular Wolverine. I hated the first two. Yeah, the Wolverine movies. Well, how many Wolverine movies did we get? We got I can't remember all these. There's one, oh yeah, wait. Let's talk Wolverine. So, yeah, Wolverine, one of my favorite Marvel characters. The first movie, doesn't he fight like Deadpool, and Deadpool has all these superpowers, and they fight on top of a nuclear reactor? That's the first one, right? And I'm a huge Deadpool fan, and that pissed me off how they ruined Deadpool. But Ryan Reynolds, God bless his soul, stuck with it and resurrected Deadpool, and we get, I think, 2 pretty good Deadpool movies after that. But my God, did they butcher Deadpool. And then there's the I don't know, the Wolverine where they go to Japan, which I loved this movie. Like I loved and get the director's cut because there's a lot more ninja action and some more violence at the end. So I loved the whole Japan thing. I loved, and again, they got to weaken him. I don't know why, but there's that scene where he's got to reach into his own heart and pull out the thing from the Matrix. It looks like the little wormy robot. I have, the women were very attractive. Again, there's that chemistry with that one character. Just love the Japanese setting. But at the very end, when we should see the Silver Samurai, they turn the Silver Samurai into like a big CG robot from hell. And I love, like, the Silver Samurai is one of my favorite characters, villains. I just love everything about him. And they ruined that villain. And that's one of those moments where I started to add him to the list of things Marvel was ruining at the time. I know it's a Fox movie, but it goes back to when the Fantastic Four movie made Galactus a cloud, and I'm leaving the theater absolutely livid. And Silver Samurai is ruined, and then I think around then we got the Mandarin and Iron Man 3, and he's ruined. And it goes back to, what's his name? I can't think of his name. They start to swap the genders of other villains. Taskmaster. Oh my gosh. They ruined Taskmaster. Like, I've got this list of my favorite villains that get ruined in Marvel movies. And how did I get here? I don't know. We were talking about Logan. Oh, I forget. Went off on a tangent. Let's get back to your questions. Sorry, proper Wolverine film. Oh, yeah. So then Logan, I thought Logan was pretty good. He dies at the end. I don't know. Can Wolverine really die? And the Old Man Logan comic book, I really like that comic. Logan, the film, has nothing to do with the Old Man Logan comic book. But I thought for what they had in the X-23, I thought that actress was really strong. Like Supergirl, the young girl playing X-23, like when they go into the building to like go get her and she comes out with the dude's head and like throws it at them, I'm like, oh, yes. I mean, see, where's that edge? James Mangold made that movie. Where is that kind of edge in the Double D, the Dial of Destiny? Like, it's missing that. Even the chicks need more testosterone. I don't know. Roadblock. Yeah, I heard The Flash wasn't terrible. Keaton and Supergirl parts were the high points. Yeah, I mean, no, again, I think the Friday Night Tights people will tell you it's an abomination. Can't disagree. But I thought there's some good points in it. So if you can watch it sometime and your expectations are super low and you just want to see Keaton, the second half I thought was fun. Turn your brain off. It was fun to watch those characters go to work. But yeah, Ezra and two Flashes, you don't need to see those two folks more than once. Super Nerd Creed. I'm not sure about what James Gunn is going to do, especially with Batman. Yeah, I think they cast Superman. I got to take a look at the actor. They did cast Superman. I have no idea who's going to play Batman. I mean, James Gunn, Guardians 3. I enjoyed Guardians 3. I think Guardians 3 is probably the best Marvel movie we got in a very, very long time. I was crying. The whole Rocket Raccoon and his little furry friends. I'm crying. I was getting teary-eyed. So, James, you got me. And the villain, the High Evolutionary. I thought that guy was so much better than Kang. Like, they're both like purplish black guys. And I was gonna say they look the same. Don't just call me a racist. They both have like tech outfits. They look a little similar. But I will say, I thought like the actor that did the High Evolutionary brought so much to that part, and the story made him so evil. Like, you wanted that guy to die a horrible death. And I think he did, right? He died kind of an Indiana Jones kind of death with his face being ripped off. Yeah, I really loved the High Evolutionary as a villain. You wanted that son of a bitch to go. Kang is just like that Quantumania movie gave me a headache. It's all CG. But Guardians 3 again. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's my favorite Guardians movie. It might be my second. Guardians 2, I fell asleep. Rewatched it since, but it's okay. It's good too. But Guardians 3 is probably the second best. Okay, yeah. Arioka, how you doing? Hey there. Seems like Indiana Jones is another series that should have stayed as a trilogy. Trilogy then. Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's the Indy 4 and Indy 5 are just wasted opportunities. I think Harrison loves the character. He tries. I just think they need, things need to be more practical. And again, like I just think Indiana Jones without what makes him Indiana Jones is not Indiana Jones. It's just some old guy running around awkwardly and I don't know, following other characters I don't care about. I don't know. Yeah, missed opportunities. Jake Jones in this film. Super Nerd Creed. James Mangold made Logan. That is a masterpiece. Yes, he made Logan. If you go IMBD him, he's made a lot of movies you've seen. I recently watched Copland with Sylvester Stallone and who else is in that? I know Harvey Keitel's in that. Was it De Niro in that movie? It's a good movie. Ray Liotta in that film. Ford versus Ferrari. I thought that was a great film. So Dial of Destiny, you can see it's made well-ish, directed well-ish. Just this story, like take 30 minutes off it, tighten it up, give it more, and maybe you had a shot. Roadblock. What did they do to Silver Samurai? It was terrible, but I hated the movie because Wolverine Japan story from Chris Claremont. They screwed up. That's one of my favorite storylines. Yes, okay, so I agree. If you're Chris Claremont, if you're going to read X-Men, that's the Bible of X-Men stories, anything he did. I agree. It's not that story. They were never going to do that story. So they did their own Japanese story. I totally get it. I thought just if they would have had the Silver Samurai, that one dude, wasn't he supposed to be the Silver Samurai? I don't know. Just have a guy in Silver Samurai gear, and that's made of adamantium, or I don't know. I can't talk today, so I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce words that my brain's not gonna help cooperate with me saying. Yeah, I totally get it, Roblox. I get it. They changed way too much. Yes, they did. They did. I get it. Oh Snap says hi all. Hello Oh Snap. Good morning. Good to hear from you. And Roblox, Old Man Logan comic was great. Yes, it was. Didn't they have like the dinosaur with the venom? The venom like takes over a T-Rex. That was just awesome. Stuff we're never gonna. Well, we could see it. Venom. Sony owns Venom. Yeah, I don't know. They should give us a Venom T-Rex. Super Nerd Creed. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was a good movie, made me happy. Yeah. Made me sad in the middle, but by the end I liked it, and all our heroes got a proper sort of send-off to their new places, and we have Star-Lord back on Earth. I joked when we're leaving the movie theater that maybe we're going to get a Disney Plus series with Chris Pratt where he's just like doing work around the house, mowing the yard, and it'll be spread out over 10 episodes. By the way, we can talk about Secret Invasion because I have watched Secret Invasion episode 1 and episode 2. Talk about boring. Boring with bad writing, which makes bad acting because the writing is so bad. And all these very just cringy racial things said in each episode. We have the comment about being a spook, and that when Nick Fury and Maria Hill are talking, and Nick Fury says, Maria says, you can't use the word spook. And he's like, no, you can't use the word spook. And then in the second episode, we have him and Rhodey on a train talking about the colored car and eating fried chicken, and I'm just like, what is going on here? I don't know. I don't know who wrote Secret Invasion, but my God. Yeah, it's supposed to be a spy thriller. There's nothing thrilling about it. It's just terrible. That is terrible. So if you want to talk about that, I think I basically covered it right there for you. I can't recommend Secret Invasion. Super Nerd Creed. And now that the hype has died down, I'm starting to agree with you about Across the Spider-Verse. Oh, yeah, I said there were too many Peters. Peters everywhere. Peters in your face. That makes me laugh. It made nobody else laugh, but I enjoy it. I amuse myself sometimes. You guys are just here to... Sometimes I get lucky and make you laugh. Yeah, I was like, I like the ending. I'm like, I like the first movie better. It's more tight. Just too much going on in the second movie. I'm probably gonna buy it because my son. I wasn't gonna dare take my son to that long movie in the theater. He wouldn't make it, so we'll probably buy it. And I'll probably put it on the TV here. If it holds my son's attention, I'll be shocked. I mean, he loves the first movie. I think the first movie's just great. This one, it gets bloated and it's fine. I'm not going to say it's great or anything. It's okay. It's, So, yeah. Roblox giving us an A. I forget what I don't know, but he gave us an A. Guardians was meh. Never tell me the odds. Oh, I like that. There you go. That's a phrase that a real Harrison Ford character would say, right? Not Jake Solo, not Jake Jones. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was better than the second one. I thought the first one was better. But it was on the verge of becoming too bloated. It was on the verge of that. I'll give you that. But I will say, like, again, never tell me the odds. I mean, like, what's the last good then MCU film? Endgame? I'd say Endgame. What's the last good MCU product? Endgame? It's all been downhill from Endgame for me. Yeah, I mean, Infinity War I thought was really good. I thought Infinity War was better than Endgame, but Endgame kind of wrapped it up. And of course, we got, Captain Marvel forced into that. Little Brie Larson. I was going to say Lee Barson. What am I doing? My brain and my mouth won't talk today. Who's looking forward to the Marvels? I mean, never tell me the odds. I mean, are you going to the Marvels? Don't be embarrassed if you are. I'm going to go see the Marvels and we can talk about it. I got to go. I got to go for you guys. All right, Roblox. Across the Spider-Verse wasn't bad. I enjoyed it, but wasn't as good as people said it was. That's exactly where I am. Hit or Miss TV. Everybody go check out Hit or Miss TV. Hit or Miss TV is always working hard. That's like a real YouTube channel. Not what I do here. He actually works very hard and has videos that are edited. And I enjoyed when we watched Resident Evil together. That's a lot of fun. And yeah, Resident Evil. Those movies are very much guilty pleasures, but I'll go back and I'll watch them. Hit or Miss TV and I went and watched Resident Evil, the first movie, together. Not together. He had a video on that, and it was a lot of fun watching it with him and making comments. So go check out Hit or Miss TV. Still would love to do something with you. We just have to figure it out. Let's see here. First movie is a modern classic. I think Spider-Verse, probably. I think it is. I would agree with that. I think it's really good, if that's what you're talking about, Super Nerd. Roadblock. I refuse to watch Secret Invasion because I enjoyed the comic storyline so much. Yeah, then you're not going to like this. No, there's nothing to like in Secret Invasion. Maybe I'll pop on and we can talk about, is episode 3 any good this week? I don't know. Super Nerd Creed. I thought No Way Home was good until I explained the plot and realized it had more plot holes than the Spot could ever make. No Way Home. Yeah, that's this one, right? See, I got my No Way Home stuff. Let me move my snake. Oh, I can show you a little behind the scenes. Everyday Eric. So I got these guys. We got Hasbro sold me this figure again for like the third time, but this time they gave us Toby, you know, they gave us the Garfield. So there you go. Why is he looking that way? Hey Toby, look over here. It's a pretty good set. I gotta, yeah, yeah. There you go. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those are pretty cool. No Way Home. Yeah, it was fun. I liked seeing all the old villain actors showing up again. Alfred Molina, who I've met in real life, and I've told this story before. I've met and talked to in real life on several days, on several occasions, and it never dawned on me that it was Alfred Molina. He's the nicest guy in the world. He's like a bad guy in a lot of the movies. And then I met him. He was in my lobby reading a newspaper every morning. We do small talk and just talk about our city. And I'm like, I thought it was someone's dad. And every time he'd see me and he'd be like waving. And hey, he's meeting the gym. And he never brought up who he was, what he was doing. And then after he left, like the concierge at my building was like, oh, you and Alfred Molina are becoming close. And I was like, Alfred Molina. I'm like, I've been talking to Alfred Molina for a week. And I didn't become like a stalker and have him autograph my Raiders of the Lost Ark Blu-ray. But so he's a super nice guy. Yeah, so there you go, Alfred Molina. So I was very pleased to see him return and do his thing. Let's see here. Hit or Miss TV. Endgame was the last decent MCU. There you go. But Infinity War was the best. I totally agree. The climax of Marvel. But the prime was Captain Winter Soldier for me. Yeah, there you go. I totally agree. Hit or miss. And yeah, Winter Soldier. See, that's a spy thriller, right? I mean, that was really good. That was awesome. That felt like a proper spy thriller. Secret Invasion. No. No. But yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Oh, snap. I'm tempted to watch these disasters, but I can't bring myself to see beloved characters like Indy, Skywalker, Superman, etc. being trashed, depressed, and downtrodden in dumb stories. Oh, snap. Welcome to Hollywood and the last 5 years, right? Yep. Extraction 2, we could talk about that. I saw Extraction 2. It's pretty friggin' awesome. Extraction 1 is better. In this Extraction, I do notice that his little female helper has a much larger role in this one. She's not a girl boss, but it's okay. It's okay. No, she's good. But he definitely has help this time. It's not just him doing things by himself like in the first movie. But there's this fight on a train. The visual effects in this movie. So, Dial of Destiny, we have a fight on a train at night, and you can't see anything. In Extraction 2, you have a fight on a train during the day around snow, which is going to even make it brighter. And the visual effects are just mind-blowing. Like, I thought it looked absolutely incredible. And I don't want to spoil that, but go see Extraction 2, and holy shit, there's a fight where they got to get out of a prison. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is like, I can't think of the movie. It'll come to me. I can't think of it. But there's a big fight in a prison, which is like one-shot takes and just really amazing. And then on a train, and then in like this skyscraper. Extraction 2 is pretty badass. I will say Extraction 2 for me, it started to fizzle out at the very end. There's like a one-on-one fight that I thought was not the high point of the film. So why end on like a moment that's kind of like fizzling out? Yeah. But other than that, Extraction 2 is amazing. Go check it out. Chris Hemsworth, when he's being a man and not a clown, that's when he's at his best. Like Thor, Love and Thunder. Oh my God, that was terrible. That was terrible. That was terrible. Terrible, terrible. Arioka looks cool. I forget. I forget what you're talking about, Arioka. I apologize. Never tell me the odds. Endgame, yeah. So yeah, I mean, hey, you guys. So yeah, it's probably the last decent one in my opinion. But listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm just here to facilitate the conversation. Super Nerd Creed. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite comic book movies. People will be like, but it is cheesy. And I say it was by design. Spider-Man 2 is one of your favorite comic book movies. So Spider-Man 2 has Dr. Octopus, right? That's Spider-Man 2. A Tobey one, or the Tom Holland one, or the Garfield one. I don't know. Garfield, you're probably not talking about Electro. No. Tobey, like the Tobey one with Doc Ock is probably a classic. At that point in time, it was the best superhero movie ever made. And for a long time after that, actually. Far From Home, we have Homecoming, Far From Home. You're probably not talking about Far From Home. You're probably talking about the Doc Ock movie. I'm going to guess. Let me know if I'm right about that. Oh, snap. Saw your Super 7 Silverhawks review. Just found out Raymond Toys is going to continue their line under a different name since they lost the rights. Oh, wow. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Super 7. I give them a lot of money, and they keep screwing me. They just posted images of the Cat's Lair, but no one knows, is that for the Ultimates collection or for the little reaction people? Because to do a Cat's Lair and to have it look right against that behemoth of a Thunder Tank, and I just did a lot of moving recently, and if I buy the Cat's Lair, I might officially have a problem because I have too much crap. So I just don't know. I might have to not buy that on principle. But on the Instagram at Super 7, they're teasing a Cat's Lair. Oof. Oof. I don't know. That's a whole other discussion. Need better login name. Laugh my ass off. LOL. You're probably laughing at me. Or my snake. Or the fact I can't talk this morning and decided to do a live stream when I can't talk. Super Nerd Creed. I heard that Extraction movies are the ultimate dumb fun action movies. They are really good. Super Nerd Creed, watch Extraction 1 and then watch Extraction 2. It's worth getting a Netflix account just to watch them, and then you can cancel the account. They are that good. Extraction 1 is one of the... I'm going to say something controversial. I like John Wick, right? I love John Wick. But I don't know. Like Extraction 1, could it be... John Wick 1 is great. John Wick 3 is really good. I liked the last John Wick film. Extraction is... There's a lot of attention to detail on what he's doing with his military gear. And there are times, I know people that know a lot about this, and when I watch them that movie with them, we actually stop the movie and rewind it to see like what he did with his pistol, with the magazine, and like certain like things he's doing that like Keanu Reeves is very good, but just the respect, to Chris Hemsworth. There's little subtle things that are so good that he does. He's very convincing in the action. The action's very convincing. There's these long shots that never end that I don't know how they do it. So, yeah, I can't recommend Extraction enough. It's just great. It's like a Rambo or Commando, but done so well. I don't know. Roadblock. Extraction 1 was better, but Extraction 2 was pretty dope. Yeah, I liked most of Extraction 2. It's just at the end, it was like, I like where it's going, though. At the end of Extraction 2, like... I don't want to spoil it, but like who shows up, and like I like where I want to see Extraction 3. Can't wait. I wonder who's the crazy person they reference, crazy or eccentric. You know I'm talking about Roadblock. I wonder who they're gonna cast for that part. Maybe Mel Gibson. I don't know. Super Nerd Creed. Does anyone remember Chris Hemsworth's role in the awful Ghostbusters 2016? He played the secretary and he was a clown. Yeah. I do remember that because I watched that movie. I sure did. I watched that movie for free. Yeah, I didn't go to the theaters to see it. And people were saying on YouTube, like, this movie is so unfunny. I didn't believe it could be that unfunny. And so I rented it and watched it in my garage. And I did not laugh at all. And I was like, oh my God, I'm watching a Ghostbusters movie. And these people are trying to be funny. And I'm not, I don't even have a chuckle coming out of my body. But yeah, Chris Hemsworth, that was the start of him being a clown. Yeah. Roadblock Extraction 2 was Commando meets John Wick. Yeah. Yeah, I think John Wick is a little more like, I love John Wick, love Keanu Reeves, but it's a little more, it feels more like choreography at times, more like, where Extraction is just so damn brutal. They're both great. We're lucky to have both guys kicking ass. I don't, they're both great. But yeah, definitely check out Extraction. Go do it today. If you get anything from this video and me talking for an hour, go see Extraction 1. Go see Extraction 2. That's what we've learned today. You don't need to see Indiana Jones in the butt dial of density. You don't need to see it. Oh, we got some more comments. Happy to answer your comments, and then we can kind of wrap it up. Not because I want to wrap it up, but I'm sure you guys want to wrap it up. Even Chris Hemsworth's son was embarrassed by Well, damn it, I love Chris Hemsworth's son. And if he was embarrassed, I was embarrassed. I mean, at the end of that movie where, like, the title is explained to us that love is the adopted daughter, and he's Thunder, and so now he's got this daughter that's gonna, oh my God, it's so bad. The little kids at the end, I mean, I don't know what. Yeah, the whole movie is terrible. It's just to deconstruct Chris Hemsworth's Thor and to demasculate him or emasculate, whatever the word is. It's just terrible. Another example, it's Jake Thor. All right, everybody. I've talked enough about this movie. You are done listening to me talk. I know it. I appreciate all your support. Leave comments. We can talk down the road. You leave me a comment, I'll definitely answer. If you've got nothing to do, if you've got 3 hours over the holiday weekend here, sure, go see it and get back to me. But I can't really recommend The Dial of Density. Super Nerd Creed, it was fun. Thank you, sir. Maybe I shouldn't say you're a sir. Thank you, Super Nerd Creed. Appreciate it. Thank you all, Roadblock. And appreciate everyone stopping by. Oh Snap, Hit or Miss TV, Need Better Login Name, Arioka. All a good time. Love talking to you guys. Everybody be good. Have a great weekend. And talk to you guys soon. Thanks.